drought. So entire pomegranate is dried up. Karnataka area, I just want to tell a little bit about Karnataka also, because Karnataka is more vulnerable to drought situation. 80% of its geographical area is vulnerable to drought. Drought is rampant across the globe, India also. So we know that drought is second. Karnataka is in second rank actually. Karnataka stands second as far as drought is concerned in India. So you can see some more photos of the. This is mango arcade in Kolar district, which is completely destroyed during drought situation. You can see Vijaypur actually now. So the tank is dried up. People are struggling for water here. So and there is a shortage of water for animals, cattle. During flood, at the same time, there is also a flood. So animals are floating there, cattle in. We have hailstorm like this in Karnataka. In this, every year we are facing this problem, hailstorms. So this is one big hailstorm. You can see the size of the hailstorm. In Bijapur district in Indi Taluk, we have received heavy hailstorm. And you can see the photos of the hailstorm there. There was a drought as well as hailstorm also at the same time. We have this is Sidilu app in Karnataka. Sidilu in Kannada, in English it is lightning. So you can download this from but it is in the Karnataka areas. But there is one more app from IMD. So that also you can use. So Sidilu is in Karnataka. 0 to 1 kilometer, if it's showing red in your area, your location, then we confirm that there's going to be a lightning within the radius of 0 to 1 kilometer. So you need to take precautions during the lightning. So there was a Ballari building collapse in 2010. I just want to share with you why it has happened. So there was a building collapse in 2010. Early morning, the building collapsed. It was actually fifth floor, 5 floors building. So part of the building, adjacent to the story, hostel killed one student also. You can see this is the hostel building actually. Pancake collapse it had happened. So then NDRF came here, National Disaster Response Force. They converted that entire premise into 4 quadrants: east, south, now north, south, and east, west. 24/7 operation was held, search and rescue operation. They could save a person on the 9th day also, who was inside the debris. For 9 days, he was alive inside the debris, construction debris. About 40 to 45 people were trapped inside the building. So many people were, because of the injuries, there were amputations, many people became handicapped. What was the reason for collapse? There was no permission for fifth floor. Building was built on a marshy land. Planning was poor. So in one, lack of approach roads to rescue operators, poor construction materials, uneven storing of the ground and first floor with 40 tons of cement and 40 tons of granite slabs. It was an under construction building, and they have stored 82 tons of materials in the ground and first floor. So maybe that was the major reason for collapse of the building. And also there was land, the capacity of the soil was also poor. So these were the problems in building collapses. Building collapse can happen anywhere, not only in this building. School buildings have collapsed many times. I just want to share that in Nainital, one school building had collapsed in When I went there for conducting a program, at the same time there was a heavy rainfall. One particular classroom collapsed there. 23 children died in that incident, students. And remaining students were.
Feedback.
Hello. Hello. This is Kodagu flood, Kodagu landslide rehabilitation work. You must know about this because similar incidents might have happened across the country. So one rehabilitation project which is good, a very nice project, which was prepared in collaboration with many organizations, Geological Survey of India, via Border Roads Organization, National Geophysics Research Institute, Hyderabad. Even this in Karnataka, we have got a habitat center. So all of them together built a very nice rehabilitation project, which I want to share with you. So in any disaster, after the post-disaster situation, we have to provide rehabilitation. Many of you may not be known in rehabilitation work, how it looks like rehabilitation. Many rehabilitation projects have failed, but this one is very good actually, and I wanted to show to all of you. Soon after this Kodagu landslide and flood disaster, this one old lady was reluctant to come with the rescue persons. She wants to remain at her house. After 10 minutes, that house was collapsed actually. She was inside the house. If these rescue operators actually went back and forced her to come with them, like that, they forced her to bring, like they forced to bring her back from the house. So she was alive actually after, otherwise she would have been trapped inside the house. So such type of problems will be there in any disasters. They do not want to come out of their houses, irrespective of the danger. So this problem was there. So here this the old lady was doing. So you can see the river how it is completely changed its course. This river course is also changed here, Kaveri. So Kodagu 2018 and 2019 floods and landslides were very severe, and a lot of losses have happened both to the human beings and properties and houses. This is the project which was taken up after that. I'll just show you later. These were the preventive measures, like, these were the measures which were taken up during the disaster. Food materials, health aid, first aid. And then we have got all these people being rescued in this particular shelter here, relief shelter. They were given psychosocial care also inside the relief shelter. Ambulance is there. So all such type of activities will be taken up during the relief management. Basically, you must know that you may be part of this relief management. In fact, the IAS professionals who are undertaking training here, we are undergoing training in ATA campus, and KAS officers, about 50 officers we were under the Common Foundation training here. They were all sent to this site in 2018. So they were all actually monitoring how the work was going on, and they were documented everything, and they submitted a report also. This is how the training was given to the IAS officers in disaster management in ATI. So field exposure is also very important. So we took all of them to the site, asked them to stay there for 15 days in the site itself, and then they went around everywhere and documented everything and submitted the report, project report. So this was part of their training actually in ATI, and both IAS as well as KS officers. I just wanted to show this project actually. This is constructed. It took about almost 2.5 to 3 years actually to complete the project. In Kodagu, people had lost their houses in landslide and flood. Almost about 383 houses were completed and given to the people. Another 500 houses were also constructed and given. Total about 800 houses were constructed. You can see the kind of project here, how it looks like, rehabilitation project. So these are the houses very nicely built in monolithic technology, both RCC actually, both walls and roof. Foundation you can see here, rack foundation. We have everything being provided, all drainage system, septic tank, everything has been provided in this particular project, and it seems to see now the people are very happy living in these houses. It is both earthquake resistant, landslide resistant, and flood resistant. Houses are constructed in this project. A rehabilitation project should look like this. Okay. This is the Kodugu, no, landslide, how the temporary sandbags have been laid here. This is Kodugu flood. Now it is Bangalore flood. You can see how the Bangalore flood is. Every year it is happening, Bangalore flood. What are the reasons for urban flood in Bangalore? So these are the reasons. You see the drainage systems have been converted like this by putting up culverts everywhere. It is in Yogesh Nagar. And sometimes in Bangalore, in some of the areas, you can see the kind of big manholes which are preventing the free flow of water. They are acting like a barriers. Here you can see the arrow mark here. The sewage water as well as rainwater, drainage, storm water was entering the houses here, shops and houses from here below, along with snakes and other scorpions. So this was the situation here in that area in Bangalore. And one of the major causes for flood is encroachment of the stormwater drains like this. So they constructed a bathroom here. They built a shed here in the drainage system itself. And to our surprise, there was also a shopping complex. See, they have put up an illegal building here by putting pillars inside the stormwater. And they had rented these shops. We were not able to identify who are the owners of these shops also. And people were living in such houses in those areas, and almost it was collapsing. People were living in these houses. So this is such a dangerous situation we saw in Bangalore in JC Road. You can see here small poles, stone poles, and they constructed a big building here on that, without foundation, without any support. And people were living in those houses here, you can see here. Will it not cause a disaster? Definitely it is going to be a disaster by itself. So these are the problems in Bangalore. And also these problems, you can see the pipelines being laid across the drainage system. So it will prevent the free flow of water, because also waste, plastic, etc. were choking there, clogged there. This is our own PWSSB pipeline, Bangalore Water Supply and Drainage. Such a big pipelines. Once what were the natural drainage channels, we call them as Raja Kaluways, where free flow of water was there, percolation was there, everything was there. And water was moving very slowly due to the gravity. Now all of them have become like this, most of them, due to the development activities. So we cannot avoid flood now in Bangalore city. This is the problem. And you can also see some such type of structures like this, illegal buildings in Bangalore city. Nobody can enter here. This is the problem. So mock drills are another way of helping the people, women particularly, to rescue themselves during flood and cyclones, during any disaster for that matter. So it's being given here training how to rescue themselves. They are doing drowning cases. So they are doing this kind of first aid. So students are being given training on how to use the fire extinguishers, how to construct earthquake resistant buildings, how to be fire safe, how to be earthquake safe, how to be disaster safe finally. So the schools and colleges, we are giving some training to them, but regularly every college and school must have a training and mock drill plan in place. So development on the one side, disaster management on the other side, disasters on the other side. So we need we need development. At the same time, so we need to address the disaster risk. So disaster risk and development must go hand in hand. So any development would have disaster risk. So disaster risk reduction must be addressed before the development schemes are implemented, whether it is national highway, state highway, dam projects, infrastructure projects, any other project, any projects for example, for instance. So we need to take up the development. At the same time, we need to address the disaster risk. If there is a housing project, we are building thousands of houses under different housing schemes, but we are not addressing the disaster risk due to earthquake or due to flood, cyclone, landslide, etc. So if you are constructing houses without considering these disaster risk, the housing project becomes a disaster or a hazard or is going to be a danger to the community there who are living there. Therefore, disaster risk reduction must address on all the development schemes. So we must watch little things. A small leak will sink a great ship. This is what is being stated by Benjamin Franklin. Similarly, a small defect in the building, in the foundation or in the pillars can cause building collapse of big multi-story buildings. A small hole in the dam, which was seeping with a small drop by drop, can cause the collapse of the entire dam after some time. Similarly, everywhere, even in the chemistry lab, the library, it could be a sports activities, sports complex, overhead water tank, your own compound wall, your own classrooms, corridor, sanitary block, staircase. Anything can be a hazard if you do not notice the danger there. So therefore, we must address every small hazard that must be prevailing in the campus or in the institute, wherever you are. Okay. Thank you. So this is first part of my session, and I would like to share the next part of this session, which is directly relevant to the educational institutions, because you are all from the colleges and universities. I would like to share that presentation now. Can I go ahead?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Any
Yes, sir.
Any questions at this stage? Anybody would like to ask some reactions? Any questions? Are you now able to understand the disaster management aspects? In the first session, you would be able to ask some questions even later also, but I would like to complete this also now in the next 20 minutes. Then I will start asking few questions about both the sessions. Okay, I'll just go through this. This is in schools and colleges directly. So I'll go to the session now directly. So I was just mentioning earlier also, between 2000 to 2019, in the last 19 years, and compared to 2020 alone. So how many disasters had happened on an average? 368. The average number of disasters in 2020 alone is 389. 389, if you look into this here, this flood number of disasters in flood are more in number. You can see here 201 plus 163. Most of them were flood related and also storm related. So both flood and storm related are are actually attributed to climate risk, climate-induced disasters. Even you can see here all these things, which are more in number: flood, storm, then extreme temperature, then we have wildfires, drought also. So they are more in numbers. So most of them are related to climate-induced disasters only, all of them. So we can conclude that disasters are happening due to the climate change are increasing in number. In schools and colleges, we can expect this type of frequent disasters. Terrorist activities can happen, kidnapping, ragging, fights, riots, fires, building collapses, accidents, health problems, stampedes. These are frequently happening almost every yesterday. Also, there was a fire incident in coaching center, which is an educational institution, but it happened there. 15 students died there in that. Kumbakonam, I just shown you already. 93 children died in that. In Nainital, I told you 23 children died in the building collapse of the particular classroom. In Delhi also, there were school bus, college bus accidents, building collapses. Rajasthan, Karnataka. If you name any state, there would be one or two incidents of college or school level disasters. Okay, even in hostels also we are experiencing hazards. Okay, these are natural disasters, all of you know about it. What is the relationship between students and disasters? The main relationship is that students are more vulnerable when their parents are affected by the disaster. They will be deprived of food, medicines. They will be deprived of their guardians, parents. They will become normally they will become orphans if their children are below, they are not adolescents. So 0 to 5 years children will be suffering. 5 to 10 years will be of different problems. 5 to 18 years will have different problems. 10 to 18 years will have different problems. Above 18 years, they will have other problems. So age group also matters when the disaster strikes. Because we have seen in Kodagu and North Karnataka, even in Odisha cyclone, that 0 to 5 year students will have more problems because they do not ask for any support. They will be suffering silently. Such type of incidents have happened. Adolescents are getting indulged in bribery, silence, or fights, or they start telling lies. Sometimes they become arrogant. All kinds of situations were had emerged during disasters when we surveyed them. Like there will be physical impacts when disaster happens, deaths, injury, disabilities. There will be education impact, dropouts will increase. Then we have economic impact. Due to livelihood, they may lose many of the families. We have psychosocial impact, manosamajika arayaka anta kariti. So psychosocial care is very much needed because people will be suffering from trauma, psychosocial mental health issues will crop up during the they may not study properly due to the disaster's impact. So dropouts will increase. Like this, we can see the emotions during the disaster. So students will be suffering silently, sometimes without means of solutions. Nobody would be there to guide them properly, and they will suffer silently, and they will not try to be get along with others. So children 0 to 6 years, 7 to 12 years, 13 to 18 years, they have different problems. Like adolescents have their own problems, like they're seeking isolation, non-communicative, and then sometimes sleeplessness or increased sleep, feel difficult or alienated, and dropping out of the school or college, increased disaster risk behaviors, then increased substance abuse, then avoidance of trauma-related thoughts, aggression, fights, distraction, arguments, hopelessness, negligence, disobedience towards parents and school authorities, trying to get involved in activities to get sense of control, behavior problems like aggression, lying, stealing, depression due to loss, guilty for not being able to do enough. Some of these emotions would be there among the students and children, particularly 18 years, adolescents. We can also see the crimes, the National Crime Bureau has told that in 17 to 19, 24,000 suicides took place among the students between 14 to 18 years age group. In Madhya Pradesh itself, 3,115, West Bengal 2,800, Maharashtra 2,527, Tamil Nadu 2,035. So why these suicides have happened? Failure in exam, around 4,046, marriage related issues, about 639, out of which 411 were girls, love failures, around 3,315, health issues, then physical abuse. So why these suicides are happening among the students? Due to sadness, confusion, anger, tension, hyperactivity, lack of concentration. Some see suicide as a solution. Mental health among our youth should be top priority. So students are, as you say, today's students will be the tomorrow's development. So we always say that 34% of the student population in our country is school going age. So we must take care of them. So we must understand their problems and problems during disasters, basically. So that is very important. One case study is there how in COVID-19 a student had expressed their feelings. So nobody is there to talk, less communication. They're feeling loss of community life. So therefore they had all kinds of emotions. So these are the problems. I always say risk is dependent on exposure, hazard, and vulnerability. So risk can be of any kind. So all these kinds. So you need to see, already I told about this. Escaping a fire is very important. We conduct mock drills here for fire safety in our institute, every training program for a day. So in collaboration with fire and emergency services, police, fire, home guard, civil defense, and health department, all of them come and we conduct a fire mock drill. It is very important because similar to that, there can be bomb threat also. There can be any other disasters. So we ask them to do this kind of thing, drills here. Many people do not know how to escape from the building itself during the fire. So this is they're like, they're crawling, they're going, like this. This is wet cloth actually. So they have to use wet cloth and then, they have to go like this. They should not stand and they should not climb up windows and all or doors. So they should know that do's and don'ts because smoke is always above the higher level. So they get asphyxia and they'll fall down unconsciously and then burns will be there. So that they should avoid. So during burn, how to do the thing first aid? Like these small burn injuries, you need to use common tap water, normal water for 10 minutes and then take them to hospital. Don't use toothpaste and other methods, traditional methods. Just take them to hospital after covering with a plastic or a clean cloth so that, they will treat them properly in the hospital. During pandemic also we have experienced, all of us have experienced. So school being closed, online classes, there is no internet in the rural areas compared to urban areas. Child trafficking cases, child marriage cases, child labor cases. Almost everything has happened during that pandemic. So we did some research here in a small town. So which say that a lot of such incidents have happened in those areas. So why disaster risk reduction in schools and colleges? 70% of our cultivable area is prone to droughts, 60% is vulnerable to earthquake, 12% to floods, 8% to cyclones, and 34% of the total population of the country is school-going age. Lessons learned show that no government, no state can take up the challenge alone. So everybody must initiate steps at their own level. Colleges, schools, hospitals, everybody must initiate their steps at their own level. Then only it is possible. Government alone cannot do this work. Therefore, this program is there for you, all of you. Okay. Drought will lead to dropouts because migration may take place. Earthquake, definitely all school buildings might have collapsed. For example, in Bhuj, almost all the school buildings collapsed. In China alone, about 900 children in one of the schools have all died due to the building collapse. Floods in Odisha, many of them are trapped on the terrace. 8% cyclones, 34. So many, this I already told me. Schools and college disasters. Sometimes meal poisoning had happened, not only in Bihar, many places. Rajasthan school building, actually, this is the Rajasthan building collapse. Soon after the construction, it collapsed actually, the building. In Karnataka, in Tumkur, this particular building has collapsed here. This is a Rajasthan building in 8 years, this portion completely collapsed. This is a Bangalore circus tragedy. When children, students went to the circus on that fateful day, there was a fire incident and 70 children, 70 students died in that incident. From that incident onwards, because of the high emotional stress suffered by parents, guardians of those students, NIMANS and some of the training institutions together took up the task of training the parents also, giving them advice, giving them counseling, trauma care, psychosocial care. The training started in ATI also. We started the training here on psychosocial care for 5 days. Those who are willing to attend them, we are also conducting trainer development programs here for 5 days on psychosocial care. So what some of those counseling techniques are also being practiced in the training program. How to counsel the people during the trauma and disasters. That is the understanding. So we will develop appropriate knowledge, skills, and attitude. We also understand different methods of counseling, and so that the officers will become fairly aware of the problems and emotions the people are facing during the disasters. So such incidents are also happening in colleges and schools. We must try to prevent them. Now, under the 2016 Child Protection Policy, National Disaster Management Authority guidelines, policies for child protection, child safety, student safety, these type of incidents must be avoided. Now it is considered as an offense under the policy and act, and it is a punishable offense. So all teachers must understand this. Sometimes such molestation incidents may happen with the students and teachers. It should also be noticed. I told you, Nainital school had collapsed. So this is the school actually during that landslide. So actually 23 children died in that incident. So later on. Okay. Here the college premises, school premises, this student died due to the uprooting of the tree. So we must understand some old trees, unsafe trees must be identified and trimmed properly so that such incident do not happen in the school premises. We have seen the boundary walls, compound walls collapsing and falling on the students. This has happened in many places, even here in Karnataka and many other places. So even compound walls are also unsafe. Within the compound walls, we have this, what is this? Burrows. Snakes are coming out of that and students were bitten by the poisonous snakes. So that also should be noticed. Many times overhead tanks which were there, very old tanks. They were seeping continuously, but no attention was paid. As a result, these water tanks might collapse. We must notice such things and get them either repaired or reconstructed. Otherwise, such incidents tend to happen even within the college and school premises. Last week, when I was conducting a program on college and school disaster management in ATI, 1 week program I conducted here, I took a case study. I asked one school to send their sump profile, water sump. That in the sump, there were one cobra was there inside that sump. In March, April, there was a huge summer. So these snakes went inside the sump. Sump was open only. Yeah, I'm just telling you how the disaster risk is there in the school premises and college premises. Then what they did, they removed that snake and killed it, somebody. So this is another disaster. So how the people are responding to the risk? You can see the educational institutions. They send both the photos, the killed snake and how the snake was inside the sump. So this is the problem. It was a very big snake actually. If it is open, what will happen? Children may go and fall inside the sump also. That may also happen while playing. When food poisoning can happen, cylinder could be a disaster, LPG. So they must notice all these hazards and try to take care of them. Otherwise, they may translate into disaster risk. Okay. School collapse during earthquake in China. This particular building killed 900 students in this building. This is a school college building actually. Stampede also happened in school to Northeast Delhi. So 5 students died and 24 were hurt in that stampede. And it is triggered by some rumors of electrical current passing through the building after a short circuit. That's all. So even a minor rumor, small rumor can also lead to a big disaster. This is the problem. And particularly in educational institutions. So they were trapped in the flood on the terrace. You can see in Odisha, 300 children were trapped on the terrace itself. Of course, they were rescued after some time, but they were having a lot of problems there for a long time. Later on, the college buses were given some guidelines by the Supreme Court that there should be grills all around the board. Then there should be proper boards saying school or college bus. Guardians or some security there, safety inside the bus. The capacity should not exceed the number of seats. Doors, etc. should be have locking arrangements. Then some school representative teachers should be accompanying the students in the bus. This has happened. This guidelines came out of Preet Vihar in East Delhi case of bus where the driver took the bus with a high speed and he met with an accident. So some students killed, and also after that incident, a investigation conducted and they came to know that driver did not have any heavy or any vehicle license, driving license. So such unsafe practices are followed in the educational institutions, which have led to disasters. These guidelines are now brought in the form of policy in every state government and being implemented in across the state schools, both private and government schools and colleges. So we notice physical impacts, educational impacts, economic impacts, and psychosocial impacts among the college students and school students. Impact could be health, undernourishment, malnutrition, hygiene, sanitation, psychological, anxiety, fear, childish, regressive behavior, difficulty in sleeping, concentrating. So the therapy kind of things could also help us. Educational disruption, studies discontinued many times, girl children dropouts, and special effects, child adoption, child labor, trafficking, family problems, change in status, migration. This we noticed in COVID-19 and drought situation in the villages now also. Most of the people go out of the villages and work there, leading to the dropping out of the children from the schools and colleges. All these things have happened and happening now also. People with disabilities are more vulnerable because they are left with no guide and no guardians at that time. Many times during flood and during earthquake incidents or any building collapses, these are the most vulnerable people because they cannot escape themselves without the support. Without the support, without the rescue operations, specifically for this target group, they will be trapped inside the building. So whenever there is a flood, they were left out inside the building only. Whenever there is a earthquake, they will not be rescued most of the time because people tend to run out of the buildings. Those who are in normal condition, they will go out. Those who cannot go, they will be trapped. This is the problem. For instance, this World Trade Tower was in WTC incident in the 80th floor. Many persons with disabilities, very experts, officers with their disabilities, were working in the 80th floor. When the first crash came, and most of the people escaped by the second crash happens because they were able to run away from the building and escape. But these people who were working in the 80th floor, they could not escape during the interim period between the first crash and the second crash. So second crash happened, all of them died in the 80th floor, these people. So this is the kind of vulnerability faced by the persons with disabilities during disasters. Maybe it is drought, flood, landslide, earthquake, or any other man-made incident. So these are the most vulnerable. I'm just trying to tell you. So even in relief shelters also, if you are involved tomorrow in any other in future, teachers are also part of the relief shelters. I don't know whether you are involved because you just joined. In any relief operations, teachers are part and parcel of relief management. So during the relief management, what happens is, in those relief shelters, ramp should be ensured. 1:10 or 1:12 slope gradient. That is a must in any, whether it is a school premise or college premise or a chowdhury or community hall, whatever it may be. There should be a wheelchair. There should be a separate queue for them to get the materials. Their medicines. There can be some proper water tap for them, water bathroom suitable to their condition. Sanitary block, sanitation suitable to their use. If they are not there, they will not be able to use any of these services. So we need to ensure that all these facilities are available in the relief camp or relief shelter that is provided by the government or identified by the local authorities. So if it is not there, you must try to create it immediately before or during the disaster. So these have happened because these things have happened in many disasters where people were suffering without these facilities in most of the incidents wherever I went there. Therefore, NDMA guidelines for National School Safety Policy 2016, it is mandatory for all the colleges and schools to prepare disaster management plan. In case you are not prepared yet, please go back and prepare a comprehensive disaster management plan for your college and schools. It is mandatory actually To do that, you need to provide introduction about your college or school, do the hazardous vulnerability analysis, capacity analysis, then prepare a preparedness plan, then mitigation plan, then response plan. So all these plans should be, all these stages are included in the plan. I was just telling you what should be the content in the college or the school disaster management plan. Please give a brief about your college or school, your population, and then your premise plan and all other features in your school and college. Then write about the aim of your plan, objectives of your plan. For example, I say disaster safe environment in the college, to ensure disaster safe environment in the educational institution. So if your aim is that, you must write steps to achieve that. What could be the objectives? Ensure structural mitigation of some of those unsafe buildings. Ensure non-structural mitigation by providing IEC and by creating IEC activities about the disaster safety, both structural as well as non-structural. Then go for preparedness plan. Form different teams, first aid team, fire safety team. Then we have mock drill team, IEC team, like that some teams have to be formed with the teachers, NSS, NCC, Scouts and Guides, etc. and including some other students, senior students. Please form different teams. Give them proper training on first aid, say fire safety, how to use fire extinguishers, etc. How to use ropes, stretchers, how to how to do the rescue operations, how to do the first aid. All kinds of training is given here in ETI and everywhere. I think it is being given to by the Center for Disaster Management or even fire safety services. So please give them training. We have some Indian Red Cross Society also. We have collaboration. We have collaboration with Indian Red Cross Society. We have collaboration with many departments here and even private industries in Mysore. Collaboration with national institutions also, state departments, etc., who are all together. We will be conducting mock drills as part of the training programs. So you can also do the same thing in the preparedness plan. Not only your own teams of students and teachers, but also include others in those teams and conduct training sessions, mock drills, etc. for them, so that these teams will be able to help you during the disaster. Suppose if I say, there is a threat from outside to your college. At about 10:30, there is a threat from outside saying that there is a bomb threat. Bomb is there in the college. So how are you going to evacuate all 1,000 students within few minutes, 4 minutes? Actually, norm is 4 minutes, you must evacuate the entire premise. So you must try to address this issue within 4 minutes. Okay. Is it possible for you to do that in 4 minutes at present? Is it possible? I don't think it is possible because you are not practiced.
No, sir.
You are not practiced anything.
No, sir.
So how are you going to do that? Because 1,000 students plus teaching community, everybody is in stake. Health. How are you doing that? And where do you ask them to go? ಶಬ್ದ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ ಯಾಕ್ರಿ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಶಬ್ದ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ ಹೇಳೋದು. So what I'm saying is, we go to schools here, colleges and schools in Mysore and other places. We do this similar practice. We give them a scenario like this, or there is a fire incident, or a bomb threat, or something like that, or an earthquake is to happen. Next 4 minutes, they should evacuate the entire premise from all the classes properly in a particular row, in a particular corridor, through particular staircase, and exit to the open ground. And there they must count how many are there with the attendance. So this is a simple mock drill we do here. So many times they fail to do it. 4 minutes they never completed it. Half an hour they could partially do it. Of course, they took 45 to 1 hour to evacuate everybody safely. After informing that there is going to be some problem. It is actually we are telling them and doing it. Suppose if it happens without informing them, what will happen? We did that also. We did that also. That there is a bomb threat and all of you must be evacuated within few minutes. Students, without knowing proper procedure, they were running from classes and going into the one staircase only, nearby staircase, and causing all the crowd. They were unable to go through the staircase. They were standing there only for about 10-15 minutes, and teachers were going there and helping them to rearrange them. This was the problem. So if this is the preparedness level, how are you going to save the life of the people? This is very difficult. So we must have a plan in place. Which class students, first of all, how the message should be transmitted to the classrooms? Through alarm, through different alarm, a regular alarm, that should be known. How the message should be written and sent to the classroom? The class teacher must know how he must inform the students to escape. What is the escape route for this particular class? These 10 classrooms must go through this escape route, this particular route, and this particular staircase, if it is upper story, and go to the open ground and stand properly and then take the attendance. First floor, second floor, third floor, everybody knows, every student must know, every teachers must know how to go through that particular route and go to the open ground without causing any stampede or crowd within the shortest possible time. That is 4 minutes. If it is not possible, at least the shortest possible time of 10 minutes. Platinum 10 minutes. So if you could do this, then your school is ready and prepared. If you are unable to do it, then you are all not prepared. So please do this mock drills. One for bomb threat, one for fire safety, one for earthquakes, like that. So if you keep doing these things and conduct many events in your premises on disasters, different disasters, ways and means, standard operating procedures, and then responsibility to the teachers, teams, different teams, then they will be able to know what they should do. Through these training and other activities, they will be able to do better than without doing such type of activities. All of a sudden, if you face such a type of incidents, there will be more casualties, injuries, loss of life. Therefore, there should be a plan in both colleges and schools, hospitals, everywhere. Okay, that's just I wanted to tell about this to all of you because you are going back with this particular presentation and going and helping the college and the schools to prepare a plan and implement it properly. So first there should be aim for your thing, safety of the students and staff to save lives and prevent injuries, like that. Then you write some objectives for your college and school like this: create safe environment, learning environment, learn and teach disaster prevention and curriculum, learn and teach disaster prevention informally, protect access to education, structural safety, non-structural safety, then prioritize replacement and retrofitting of the unsafe school buildings, all kinds of things like this. Then your first step is sensitization meeting. Both teachers and principal and others, some senior students should move around the school, identify all the hazards, and then see what kind of impact would be possible. then how to arrest it and minimize it, what should be the mitigation measures, what should be the preventive measures, and what should be the preparedness plan. So you have to first do the sensitization meeting. Then you form different, then go for the hazard identification. What are all the hazards inside the colleges and in your premises, both within and outside the premises also. Within the premises, you will be able to do, but from outside the premises also, there may be some hazards. Please identify them also. Most of the time, outside the premises means there is a road, but there can be possibility of accidents. There is a high tension line which may cause electric hazard. So there may be some temple religious problems, then communal violence. There could be open borewells, then there is a tendency to fall. So such type of incidents may happen from the school to the house, hostel, or from hostel house to the school and college. So within this particular area, anything may happen in these boundaries. So you must identify what are all the constraints, what are all the risks, then identify the risk and then identify the needed actions to be taken, and then what kind of money, materials, machines are required, how to obtain it, how to mobilize it, where the fund is available, whether how to mobilize the funds for managing these problems. So you have to do this immediately. To do this, 10 to 15 years history, you should identify what were the problems earlier in the premises and outside the premises. So you must survey all these floors, classrooms, labs, exits, halls, all of them. Walk the class through the designated evacuation route. Evacuation route, you may not be knowing, but you must create it while planning for the disaster management. Then you already told skilled human resource is very important. Unskilled human resource is a liability. Many times they do more harm than rescue. That you must know that, because we experienced that, and unskilled people will do more harm many times. Material resources, you must know what are ladders, fire extinguishers, stretchers, all kinds of first aid kit, all of them. Not only within the premises, but from outside the premises, like nearest critical resource like water tank, nearest hospital, nearest ambulance, nearest police station, nearest water fire safety, fire service, fire station, etc. So all of them should be identified. Even nearest private industries where there is a facility for using them during the disaster. NGOs, all of them. You must create maps of your college and school like this, all of them properly. Layout plan, map, hazard map, resource map, everything. Map showing the nearest critical resources, dispensary, medical 108, like that. Even DC office, SP office, NCC, anyway, Nehru Yoga Kendras, and all those things. Then do the vulnerability mapping. Vulnerability mapping means what are all the vulnerable points in your premises, like vulnerable classes, vulnerable staircases, vulnerable students, whether it is water tank, whether it is switchboard, whether it is chemistry lab, or any other thing, that you must identify them. Outside the premises, it can be burrows, compound walls, then outside accident prone area points, etc. High tension lines, etc. Then safe evacuation route, how you are going to lay it. So, like how many classes must evacuate in this evacuation route, and how many people should go this direction. You must show the direction, arrow mark in the map, and drill it frequently so that your students and teachers are aware of that. Otherwise, they will not be aware of it. Like this. So these classes should go like this. These classes should go like this. Like that, you must prepare the evacuation route. So similarly for another class, another school, college. Materials like IEC materials, we have got many materials, short videos, short films, pamphlets, SOPs, do's and don'ts, natkas, street plays, posters. You must try to get it done through students and teachers so that they will be able to display them in the colleges and the school premises and use them, and also use them for education as well as it should be form a part of project or work also, so that students will be able to continuously involve in the such type of activities as an optional and mandatory issue, not just without mandate. Make it mandatory. Roles and responsibility before the disaster. What are the activities to be done, like IEC material, awareness drills, awareness activities, like that, like this training activities. Before the disaster, you must do drills, search and rescue skills, all warning, early warning, how you should receive the early warning, how you should give the early warning to the classrooms, what should be the mode of early warning, should it be written, should it be oral, should it be in the form of alarm, how you are going to do that, like that. So in this kind of physical assembly also you can give some training in the colleges. During the disaster, duck cover hold, like earthquake drills, evacuation drills, chemical hazard, how to do that. So all these kinds of things you can conduct. After the disaster, what you must do. Okay. So you must disseminate the plan across the school, college, premises, even authorities, so that everybody knows how to practice SOPs. Artwork, creative, poetry writing, slogan writing, drama, games, all such type of activities must be conducted for different types of disasters. Okay, students will be able to be very creative while doing these things. Teachers should encourage them to do it. Warning and information, another one team. So they should be able to give early warning and information to all the classrooms. And they should know the modus operandi, how to give the early warning and information to the classrooms without causing any panic. So what are the materials required for them? You must get that. Response group, what are the materials they should get? Search and rescue team, what are the materials as well as number of members? Sport teachers, NCC, NSS, scouts, civil defense trainers, fire service. All of them will form the team and they should be given proper training and also simple materials like this, torches, batteries, etc. Even they should be given training on how to do search and rescue, how to extinguish the fire using fire extinguishers, how to use the stretcher, how to use the ropes. Such simple techniques must be given to them and trained so that they will be able to help. First aid team, they must know the first aid kit, first aid box. They should be available in every classroom and also must be able to use it during the disaster. First aid team. There should be a first aid room exclusively in the colleges and schools. So the students who are injured must be brought there, given first aid, call the ambulance, then send them. If needed, CPR must be done. Like CPR means cardiac pulmonary resuscitation. 30 compressions followed by 2 breathings. Everybody must practice that because it will save the life of the student. Many teachers, many students do not know how to do the CPR. That is a basic life support during any.
சொன்னேன்ல போனேன்னு சொன்னேன்ல.
GRD எடுத்ததா? சரி சரி.
So we are conducting some skill-based training for basic life support like CPR here in ATI. So we have many queues here and we ask them to practice it. So 30 compressions followed by 2 breathings. They continuously do it and they practice it here so that they go back and use this skill whenever there is a incident of heart problem or drowning or asphyxia during fire incidents, etc. So we are doing such type of training. You must also do this in your college and college premises regularly so that students and teachers are aware of CPR. CPR means cardiac pulmonary resuscitation. Please note this and go back and conduct one class. So you invite some Indian Red Cross Society person in your district and then they will teach you how to do it. or you call some experienced doctor, they will be able to do it, medical professional. So everybody must know that, because it's not that only doctors will be able to do it. Everybody must do it. Very recently, one NCC student saved one life in drowning case. Because she knew CPR, she could do the CPR to the drowned student. She did the girl child. She saved that girl child. Another girl child died because nobody was there to do the CPR. So this is the problem actually in colleges and students. Many teachers are unaware of it. Students were also unaware of it. Therefore, first aid skills, CPR skills, basic life support skills, what should be done during fracture, what should be done during burn injury, what should be done during snake bite, what should be done during electrical short circuit. All things should be known to teachers as well as students. So training is a must, and you must form this team, and they must give the training to them. So this is very important. So like, students are doing here first aid. So under different injuries. First fire safety team, they must have a team. They must have how to use the fire extinguishers, hard hats, gloves, etc. Minimum thing. If you give the training to the students and teachers, they will be able to do this. So there should be a fire safety team like that. Bus safety, because buses are meeting with accidents. So you must know how the bus should be run, how the driver should be, how the guardian should be, how the student should be. All kinds of things should be done, even including card, ID card with the blood group. All that should be done. So all the contact numbers should be there in the bus. So this is also very important. Drill, I'm just showing it. Drop, cover, hold. Drop, cover, hold during earthquake. Conduct regular mock drills is very important. One for earthquake, one for fire safety, one for bomb threat, one for diseases, etc., etc. So after the disaster, what will you do? Psychosocial care is very important. All teachers must know this. Rehabilitation is another stage actually. So psychosocial care is very important for all teachers, because teachers are the basically they are going to be own the responsibility of bringing back the children from the trauma, mental health care. Somebody is not learning, somebody is not coming, somebody is silent, not learning disabilities are being observed. So try to counsel them using some basic techniques, give them social support, give them empathetic support, give them spiritual support like meditation, yoga kind of things. Give them active listening also. Maybe you should listen to them carefully, and they will be expressing their problems instead of you speaking and they listening. Such type of activities will help. Externalization means sometimes you take the students for bring them out of the regular activities like playing games or sports or some kind of drama, street plays. Such type of activities can also be there. And there are many activities under that, so teachers will be aware of those. So you can do that, so that students will be coming out of the mental sickness. So these are the issues. Therefore, educating a student is educating parents and community. So in colleges and schools, students must be educated about disaster management. Disaster management is part and parcel of everybody's life. If the students are given training and education about disaster, it is as good as giving parents and community the training. They will go back and help them in their own families. So therefore, this particular session has given you sufficient background, sufficient information, not sufficient, but we conduct 1 week training program here on this same subject. But in this particular 30 or 1 hour You have been given some awareness, some steps, some measures to be taken in the schools and colleges. When you go back, please discuss with your principals, head of the colleges, and try to prepare immediately a school or college disaster management plan. When you go back, conduct school safety audit. How are you going to conduct the school safety audit? I will be giving you some checklist which is already there. School and college safety audit must be done about all the components of the school premises. Wherever there is a lacunae, wherever there is a risk, please address that risk by mitigating it. So when you go back, please do the school safety or college safety audit. Okay, that is the first step. Then start preparing a plan depending on the risk noticed in the school or college premises. Then prepare a mitigation plan, structural, non-structural mitigation plan. Then please prepare preparedness plan. Just now I discussed about it. Preparedness plans means what are all the machine materials, teams, their resources, resource identification, contact numbers of different agencies. All of that should be mobilized, kept ready, trained, kept ready for managing the disasters of any kind. Not only for your own schools and colleges, but these teams can help the district administration wherever there is a disaster. We can go and help to the district management, district administration. Many times our schools and colleges, NCC, NSS, scouts and guides come to disaster site and they will help us. Help us means the police, fire, home guards, they'll join them and help them in different ways. So that should be the motive behind conducting a school safety audit and preparation of disaster management plan for the college. It is not just for the college, but also is going to help any disaster in the district or the village or a gram panchayat. So I request all of you, go with the information, go with this information. I'll give this material to all of you. Not only this material, I will give all the handbooks, all the documents that we prepared here. When I prepared a handbook on school and college disaster management plan, I will send it to the authorities of University of Mysore who are conducting this program, Sir Nanjun Swami sir. And please make use of these materials and prepare some plans and submit it to your college and then to the Department of Disaster Management in your state government and ask them to give any material, any support like financial support or any other support that you want, and then make your school disaster resilient and disaster free, because a life saved today is very important. A life saving is very important because you will be thinking before, not after. Think before or after. Invest before or after. You think today if you invest, tomorrow you can save too much. Okay, that is the message from this session. So I would like to close this session now, presentation. Please ask some questions and I will be able to respond to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ ವಿಚಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಒಳಪಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಈ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ, ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಏನೋ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಆಡಿಟ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಡಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇರ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ರಿಯಲಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್ ಆತರ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ. ಬೇರೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಈ ತರ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಂಡೇಟ್ ಆರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಸರ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್?
No, in the Disaster Management Act 2005, section number 31 to 37, it is mandatory for all the institutions, organizations, department, ministries, authorities, all the organizations to conduct school safety audit and prepare disaster management plan and implement it and revise it every year, so that there is no loss of life, there is no loss of properties of your organization. So this is mandated under the Disaster Management Act 2005, section number 31 to 37. So they have given different levels of organizations, like level 1 means organizations, institutions, level 2 means district, gram panchayat, the local authorities, ministries, etc., etc. So everybody has to prepare these plans and ensure that there is no risk, disaster risk in those premises. And if there is any risk, please do that by mitigating, prepare it, reduce the risk by mitigation. Mitigation means structural mitigation as well as non-structural mitigation. Structural mitigation proposal can be submitted to government. Even non-structural mitigation proposal can also be submitted to the government for funding. There is a mitigation fund available in the Department of Disaster Management in every state, in Karnataka and even other states also, everywhere. It is common actually. Government of India under 16th Finance Commission is releasing every year some fund to the state government, to the Department of Disaster Management. There is a separate account, mitigation fund, response fund accounts are there, which is accumulating. The fund is available. So your job is to avail that funds. If it is a government college or government school or university, please do it. Okay.
ಗುಡ್ ಸರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಒಂದ್ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್, ಈಗ ನಾವು ಡ್ಯೂಟಿಗೆ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮೊದಲು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಖಾದಿ ವೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಶನಿವಾರ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಬಂತು. ಇವನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 weeks ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಒಂದು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಲೈಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲ್ಗಳು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, IQSC ಕಮಿಟಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರು ರಿಟೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ನೀವು ಈ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ರಿಮೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಲೆಟರ್ ಹಾಕೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್. ಈ ತರ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ.
ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೇಡಮ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಅವರು. ಸೊ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ನಮ್ದು ಐಗಾಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ DOPT. ನೀವು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಆಫೀಸಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಐಗಾಟ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಐಗಾಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರ್ಮಯೋಗಿ ಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಈಗ, ಭಾರತ್ ಕರ್ಮಯೋಗಿ ಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಐಗಾಟ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ, ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ. ಒಂದು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್, ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್. If you attend that online training, you will get 5 marks also, 5 credit points. It is helping you for, all the school teachers must pass that course. It is in the IGOT platform. IGOT ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, IGOT ಅಂತೇಳಿ HRMS ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Those who are in the HRMS and K2, they will get automatically access to the IGOT platform and they will pass that course. So it was under the initiation of the state government, your department only, education department. So you prepared it and put it on the portal, School Disaster Management Plan and its implementation. This is the course which is there in the IGOT platform. Please pass it because it is mandatory for all of you to get this certificate. That is also there, and in that every procedure is given already. Any other questions, sir? Anybody?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, please.
Sir, cyber security and hacking is not addressed in disaster management. Why, sir?
No, it is not addressed. We are conducting every week. One day training is only on cyber security and crimes in our ATI. to all the state government officers and employees. So it is being addressed, and it is a daily phenomena. It is a regular and daily disaster. It is a silent disaster, and nobody is considering it as a disaster. It is a daily disaster actually. Okay, it is nothing like no season is required for such disaster. Rainy season or drought season or whatever season, summer season, like that. Cyber crimes are happening every day. Therefore, we are conducting one day training only on cyber crimes and security measures in our training programs. Every training program, because it's a cross-cutting issue, it is common for all disasters. So, although it is not declared as disaster by the disaster management at present under the NDMA guidelines, but it is a major disaster. Other departments have considered it as the IT department, information technology. There are IT rules. So it is mentioned that it is a disaster. So we are addressing this even without considering as a natural disaster or man-made disaster. Okay, we are addressing
Okay,
this.
sir.
Anybody?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Now in the district plan also we are saying the cyber crimes and security part, one part is there in that, in all the district disaster management plans. So what are the different crimes, how to rescue themselves from such crimes, cyber crimes, do's and don'ts, not only for the officers, but even for farmers, women, businessmen, because they're trying to invest, they try to invest and they get fooled. They lose the money. So how to rescue themselves? Even everything, digital arrest, all kinds of deep fakes, AI related crimes, IT related crimes, financial transaction related crimes. We are addressing all of them in our training program, one-day training program in cyber crimes as part of the 6 days training program in ATI, in Center for Disaster Management. Anybody else would like to say anything? Ask questions?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, will it be okay to understand or interpret capacity analysis as something comprehensively, like anything and everything which is required to reduce the impact or thrust of disaster?
Yeah, please repeat once again.
Sir, I am asking in terms of capacity analysis. So can we interpret it as something, anything or everything which is required to reduce the impact or thrust of a disaster?
Capacity analysis basically comprises of trained manpower required for your risk, proportionate to the disaster risk in your premises, in a gram panchayat or district, depending on the boundary. What are the different disaster risks? If there is a flood, then boats, number of boats, life jackets, then say relief shelters. How many relief shelters are required? How many villages are going to be affected by this flood? What is the area? How many people? How many houses are going to be affected? All this we will take into account, and we'll identify a number of relief shelters, safe relief shelters for them when they are evacuated, and provided facilities. Then food facilities for so many number of people. Storage points, food storage points we identified where the food is available. How many community kitchens, how many are required, we identify that before. How many people are physically handicapped, how many people are aged, how many people are pregnant. All that we identify and provide them facilities accordingly in the relief shelters. So this is just like flood. Similarly, for different disasters, we need to identify different capacities needed. Capacity not only in terms of food, medicine, such type of things, but also relief shelters. Safe relief shelters is very important, because many safe relief shelters are not adequate.
All right, sir.
They are suffering there. It is not only in terms of within that, but your own capacity along with other convergence. Like you need to take the support of civil defense, home guards, fire servicemen. SDRF is there in Karnataka, or their support, and we have volunteers which have been trained under Abda Mitra scheme in every district. 300 to 400 members are there. We can also take the help of NGOs, clubs, trust, etc. All of them you need to identify, including private industries who are there.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, one more thing. May I?
Please.
Yes, I think four of us from this particular course hail from English discipline, including Shashikala ji, and we have Sumangala, and then we have Suraj ji. So, sir, we were wanting to know that as in English literature, we have a field called, say, apocalyptic literature, which is to do with mass destruction and everything. We also have a category called climate fiction. So, you were mentioning about writing a proposal to the government or how we can. So I was wanting to know, or I am also inviting my fellow teacher participants in order to frame or reframe my question as to we seek, sir, how can we align literature with disaster management? So we would like to hear you on this.
So, see, there are two things. One is there are different participatory tools we use. Participatory tools like focused group discussion, simple things, because in the field people will not be educated too much of in villages, because
Yes.
most of the villages are vulnerable, not the good areas. Vulnerable areas are those where most of the illiterates, most of the villagers, pregnant, these kind of old people are living. Low-lying areas, slums, settlements, cities which are more vulnerable. People are living in such areas. So what we do is we use focused participatory tools like
All right.
risk assessment tools. We write some open-ended. First, we write structured questionnaires, and open-ended questions are very useful there. And we try to bring them onto the like analysis mode after that. So we'll get the
Okay.
reactions like last 15 years, whatever the problems faced by the village, they will tell. People will tell. They may not be able to write, but they will be able to tell us what has happened during the last 20 years in that village, in that Gram Panchayat. So they may not be able to write it, but they will tell us what has happened and how many people died there, how many people were affected, how many people lost their crop, how many huts were under fire. Everything
Okay.
tell over the last 20, 30 years, 50 years. They will bring that information and try to project it as per the trend analysis. We will prepare the plan. So this is going to happen even in future also. This particular disaster is going to happen. So that kind of data is going to help. Focus group discussion also we conduct there. And focus group discussion means about 12 members, very seniors, will sit with them, and we have some questionnaires, and we'll start ask them to give the responses, and we write it. Not necessarily we'll ask them to write. Okay, that kind of thing, primary data. Then we'll do the seasonal mapping also. We'll ask them when was the last disaster happening in a year, like in the 12 months of period in a year, which kind of disasters are expected in your village or in your place. They will plot it. We will plot it. They will tell. Like in the month of July, there was a flood and the cyclone. In the month of March, April, there was a heat wave. We faced a lot of problems. Heat strokes, like diarrhea cases were increasing in our village. Many people died. Many children died, and many people went to the hospital, but they didn't know what is due to the heat wave or not. Everything will be known to us by asking such things. So seasonal mapping is another way of getting the information from the people, and then we'll use hazard matrix, like what is the frequency and intensity, impact versus frequency of the hazards in that area. Frequency means how many times it is happening in a year or 2 years, 3 years. If it is happening every year, then it is high frequency. If it is happening once in 10 years, then it is very rarely happening. So like that, we classify different hazards into different frequency. So low frequency, medium frequency, and high frequency. And high impact wise also, intensity wise also, high impact, low impact, and moderate impact, medium impact. So like that, we classify all those hazards in that area into frequency versus impact also, and we attach higher priority to those hazards which are having higher impact and higher frequency, because considering the amount of money available to the Gram Panchayat or school or hospital or wherever we are, in the institution. So we attach higher priority to those hazards which are causing higher risk based on the higher impact and higher frequency. So this kind of information is collected from the field directly and we use it, okay, for the preparation of the plan.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. There are many tools like that. Okay, thank you. So anybody would like to ask questions? I think it is time to close or what? If you do not have any questions, shall I close it? And I request all of you to be in touch with me. I have got my email address with Sir Nanjun Swami sir, and you can always call me. My phone number is also there. If anybody is interested to collaborate with us in terms of getting training, or if you want to attend a training, if you want to do some research, you want to do case studies, if you want to do some planning for your college or any other place, you can always communicate to us. We will be able to collaborate with you and help you out in the process. Okay, from our center. So this is from my side, and maybe I think I would like to close if there is no question. And it is a long attendance, I think, for 2 hours, so 2 hours 30 minutes. I thank all of you for your attention and for listening to this online session and also asking few questions, interacting with me from time to time. I thank all of you, all professors here attending this program from the Center for Disaster Management and ATI, Mysore, Administrative Training Institute, Mysore. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Very
so
much,
much.
sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.